You see, what makes it possible for a nation not to value its poor is because, number one, it has the capacity, or some people that put themselves together called the political class have the capacity to take what belongs to the people to impoverish them. And how do they take what belongs to people to impoverish them? It's through a long network of cronies. So take, for instance, they put out a budget, 20 trillion. In fact, the budget is even a reflection of the level of how much the cronies have taken. Because the cronies, once they take from the state resource, they cripple the state. So what's our famous resource? Oil. Oil theft is going on. We can't see people that are stealing the oil. And as that goes on, some people are taking from that resource. So when they take from that resource, it stops the state to be able to take money to be able to use for the people that are poor. But apart from that, also the little money the state collects, then there's a long line of cronies that also take from that money in the name of contracts. So take, for instance, if a contract was awarded to fix the hospital and buy drugs in the hospital in a poor neighborhood, but because the person is connected to high people, it takes the money and puts in his pocket, and nobody can investigate him. Then people come to the hospital, then they don't see drugs. Then they die. Then poverty starts to deepen. And when all of this constantly fails, that's when you have the private sector trying to fill up the gap. That's when you have private hospitals. Just to try to fill up the gap. So the truth has to be told. It is through their network of cronies that they take the commonwealth of the poor. And this network of cronies, they will never allow their own people lose that power. Because if they lose that power, then they lose that financial flow for them. And that's why you see elections are heavily contested and people will even kill because they don't want to lose that capital base and economic power. But the most important tenets of a nation should be about a collective agreement to be able to fight for the poor amongst it. But a nation that fails to do that now uses poverty as a weapon because they want to get their way, will be a nation that will not be able to grow in everything. Because you see, for the nation to grow, a nation must bring people out of poverty, and it is the industry of its people that will grow the nation. But you see, for nations that don't care about the poor, that want people to constantly be poor for their own benefits, what they are doing invariably is that they are stifling the capacity of their own people, and the people that can innovate things never see the light of day. Have you ever heard people say, oh, I had great dreams, but somebody in power killed my dream? I once met somebody many years ago that said he had a dream to build a car, and they took it to some high people in government, and they killed the dream. So for every dream you kill because it doesn't benefit you, and because probably building a car will stop you from making money from importing cars, for every dream you kill, then you don't allow room for industry and spread of wealth. And when there's no spread of wealth, society starts to decay. So that's why you're seeing the inverse in the case of Nigeria, that there's so much potential, human being, there's so much resource, but few groups of persons believe that that resource should work for them more than the collective lot. And once you do that, something happens. I'll tell you what happens. What happens is stated by a certain economist called Coradogene. Coradogene. Coradogene propounded something called the Gini coefficient, which is a measure of inequality of wealth or income. See where we are coming from. The basic idea of a state is to respect and lift the poor. Once it fails in that idea, poverty increases. And how does the state fail in their idea? Because the interest of some people is that that poverty should not be solved. Because once the poverty is solved, then there's enlightenment and education. But once the state fails in that idea, because of these people, then something called the Gini coefficient, as propounded by Coradogene, increases. You can go and Google what we call the Gini coefficient of Nigeria and tell me the answer. So Coradogene worked on this thing called Gini coefficient. And that's why the essence of poverty in society, that's why the effect of poverty, beg your pardon, in society dampens prospect, destroys opportunity, because it's being perpetrated. And that's why when you go and read, I've read so many books on poverty. In fact, one of the two biggest actors on poverty now are two economists, Esther Duflo and Alhiti Banerjee. In fact, Banerjee used to be Esther Duflo's professor. But you see, for their study of poverty, their passion grew so much that they finally got married. Both of them as a couple won the Nobel Prize for Economics for their work on poverty. And they've written many books together. Their life work is on this. And they said so many things. So, they've worked in India, worked in some other parts, and they constantly make an argument. They've measured the effectiveness of governmental action on improving lives of people. They use randomized control trials. And they see the effects of governmental action on poverty. They see the effects for every road that ought to be built that wasn't built. I've just given you the instance. For hospitals that ought to be built that was never built. And the effect cascades down. But why that is the case is that as long as some people benefit, then you can't have enough resource to be able to empower the others. They've written books, Understanding Poverty, Poor Economics, many other arguments on how to change the dynamics. Because you see, the most important argument about the essence of the state caring for the weak also feeds into the argument of protection of life and property. Because the strong in every society can protect himself. They can buy bulletproof cars and all of that. At least for you to buy a bulletproof car, you will need close to 100 million. How many people can afford 100 million naira in a country where 95% of the bank account owners don't have up to, what is it called in their bank accounts? Don't have up to 500,000 naira in their bank accounts. So what nations do normally is that they respect the weak, so they provide what we call opportunities, and they protect and provide security for the weak, because they know the weak cannot protect themselves. But the truth is, in a state where you don't have respect for the weak, the security forces now start to double up to protect the strong alone. And that's why you see that Nigeria police have close to 400,000 police officers, but almost half of them are private security protection for top people in society. Police escort. In a country where 98% of the banking population, of those that have bank accounts, don't have 500,000 naira in there, you can't get police protection, because for an average 1 or 2 day trip for police protection, it will cost you over 100,000 naira. So for you to retain police protection in a month, they follow you everywhere. It costs over 1 million or 2 million naira or more. But you see, when a country fails to realize or respect the poor, then there's a free-for-all, so there's insecurity. There's massive insecurity. And the state doesn't protect them because it doesn't respect the poor. That's why you see today marks 5 years of Leah Sharibu. She's not still been found. And what now happens is that there now becomes a proliferation of non-state actors, because everybody is now jostling to be able to capture the states. So, like we said before, the most important tenet of nationhood is respect for the poor. You will see in some other climate that they respect the poor, how things move on. I'll give you an example. I don't like using UK as an example, because UK is fast becoming a third world country now anyway. But when UK was still UK, yes, I say that. I said that advisedly. When UK was still UK, you could see a massive respect for the poor. But even till date, those living with disability, sometimes you will like to live with disability if you're in the UK. Because it's a society that respects the poor so much that all the privileges go to people living with disability. They have preference in car parks. They have preference in everything. They wrote a proposal in the 1940s that said, because people fought in the war and people were going around with broken limbs, let us set up a national health insurance called the NHS. Although the NHS too has been bastardized now. And most of the problems were happening with the UK is because some people feel they are bigger than the state and they're trying to capture the state, and that's why the problems are happening. But when that was the case, when things were still good, you could see the effective response. Although some people will make arguments that, oh, aren't you saying is we should become a welfare state? No. What I'm saying is that there's a basic role that the government should play as regards aiding the weak. And that's why, as long as the person is a big man, you don't get justice. So, when a nation lose the tenets, number one tenets of nationhood, because you see, respecting the poor and the weak is the number one tenet. Every other thing comes upward. See, once you respect the law and the poor and the weak, the case of rule of law will be settled. Because it is mostly the poor that is affected by brutality, not having rule of law. How many sons and daughters of the rich do you see is affected by police brutality? It's mostly the poor. So, once that you fail on that tenet, it cascades into environmental justice, societal justice, development of the healthcare, production in the economy, economic, business development and all of that, prospects and development, all of that is tied around protecting the poor. So once a nation loses that, then it becomes free for all. And that's why you see, former President of America, Dwight Eisenhower, said something. He says, a nation that values privilege over virtue will soon lose both. And let me tell you something. Nigeria has become that nation because we've forgotten the virtue that the most important tenets of nationhood is the states placing more priority on the weak. But we have upheld the privileges of the strong. And before you know it, if that is the order of the day for you as a nation, you uphold the privileges of the strong over the weak, then society starts to disintegrate. So how can you solve these problems? Number one, building strong institutions. Because go and look. The strength of any nation is directly proportional to the strength of its institution. Why Nigeria is the way it is today is because we have a very malleable institutional threshold. Our institutions can be easily malleable to suit the whims and caprices of the highest bidder. People can have a clear case, but because the person they're in contention with in the case has more money, they can bribe up some officials and they forget about it. And how do we build institutions? It is people and leadership that builds institutions. Why do you think that any time institutions are trying to sanitize any process in this country, then they try to kick or shut down the institutions? See, the difference between Nigeria and other developed countries is the fact that their institutions have been built to a certain level. Not that they are not porous, don't get me wrong. Have been built to a certain level of independence and strength over the years. And you saw that play out. Despite the madness of Donald Trump and how he tried to manipulate the elections, institutions stood against him. So, in fact, it got to a point, people in his own cabinet said, no, you must be joking. Except we have institutions that say country first, then we can't do anything. But how do you have institutions that say country first when hitherto the leadership has built a divided country? That's why you have tribal sentiments and bigotry. As I am, I don't know tribe. People that know me will tell you that Rufai is the most detribalized Nigeria you can ever meet. In fact, I'm more friends with people out of my ethnic stock. I've done more businesses with people out of my ethnic stock because I don't know tribe. I know individuals. Do I get hurt? Yes. In fact, the times I've gotten hurt in business out of my ethnic stock, people tell me, oh, we told you. I'm like, no, I know individuals. Because irrespective of tribe, everybody's an individual. And our God has not said it's somebody specifically from one tribe that will help you. So why are you concerned about tribe? The only thing I pray for every day is, Olorun, Rana and Lucy me. Send me helpers. The helpers might be any colored. I don't care. If it's a Punjabi man that helps me, I don't care. I treat everybody as human beings. But you see, how we have destroyed institutions is that our leadership because of the lack of content they have, look for easy spots of divisions. And those easy spots of divisions are things like tribe. And let me tell you something. Because somebody is from your tribal group doesn't necessarily mean they'll help you. Anybody can help you. Anybody God sends to you can help you. But because they have little or no content to campaign, so they start to divide people based on tribal lines. And when they divide people based on tribal lines, because it's an easy conversation for them, it's not based on people that are from your religion. Anybody can help. As long as God sends the person to you, you get a good rapport. You can do a lot together. So because collectively over the years, they have made the reference of a division point along tribe and ethnic sentiments. Then people start to divide you. But for me, my stance has always been, I'm liberal, I'm open to anybody. What are even the commonalities for people of an ethnic stock? Language, creed, culture? So what if the other person from the other tribe that you claim is not like you has learnt your language, creed, and culture and perfected them? Does it mean you can still talk to them? Does it mean so? Does this tribe know poverty? I mean, is tribes poverty agnostic? Is not everybody that's feeling the pinch of it? I ask. But you see, the most important tenets of a nation that's supposed to be respect for the poor and weak is being left aside on the pedestal of sentiments. And when you don't do that correctly, then you don't build a nation. And I keep telling people, I think it's all about the exposure. Maybe because I grew up in an environment, it was sort of like a united nation. I had Bulgarians, a lot of Bulgarians around me growing up. Then I had Austrians, then I had Indians, then I had British, then I had all sorts of nationality. So I fall short on that analysis. But I've just learned not to know about tribe. As long as you can get along, there's a commonality. It doesn't make any other person less human, really. I think the most important issue is, can we forge ahead? And can we do a lot together? But all of that does not diminish the issues that confront us. I think it was Rufai Oseni that says, what lies before us and what lies within us are tiny. What lies before us and what lies behind us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us. So the question is, what are the things that lies within us? Poverty. It's a country of so many weak people that needs to be lifted. And trust me, whoever emerges president, I feel sorry for them. Because with the level of decadence the nation has gone through, they will be unpopular, even if they were the most popular person. But the other person that will be president should know that he must stay resolute in the level of unpopularity to be able to rise to that national appeal. Because it's going to be hard. We're in dire straits economically. I mean, let's not deceive ourselves. No matter how popular the person will be that will emerge next week, I can assure you, when the challenges start to come in the first 6 months, that same person we all adulated will be very unpopular. because the problems are a lot. But whoever it is might be needs to be steadfast. Because you see, the role of nationhood and nation building, the job of nationhood and nation building, is a very unpopular assignment. And if you feel it's a popularity contest, you're wrong. Mostly your credit is given when many years people look through the trajectory of a country and they remember the work you did at any part in time. And please, Nigerians, it is not one president that will change Nigeria. It's not one president, so let's stop having this over whimsical appellation that, oh, it's going to do it. No. The work of rebuilding Nigeria might not be completed in 8 years, 10 years. But I think the most important thing, the takeaways you should be able to take, is the person consistent in the work? If he is, please cut him some slack. And where he is not, berate him. Because criticism is subsidized learning on the path to nationhood. And the most important barometer of any nation is its poor and weak. A nation is only as strong as its weak people. I know a lot of people want to call me up. This message is on podcast on Rufai Speaks podcasts, and let's talk. I think I've just laid it bare here. 0700 903 903 903. So it's going to be called Nationhood Part 2. And it is a powerful insight. Nationhood Part 2. Yep. 0700 903 903 903. A lot of people on the YouTube community, I see all of you. Bless you guys. Thanks so much. I mean, I feel you guys. Hello, how are you?
Hey, good morning.
Morning.
How are you doing today?
Very well. What's your name, sir?
Yeah, my name is Jason.
You're sounding like you're under the duvet or duvet. Oh, you're just waking up?
Yeah.
Talk to me.
Yeah, so for me, I don't really pay attention to things.
My brother, I can't hear you well. Yeah? Maybe, okay, let me allow you boot very well.
For me, can you hear me now?
Oh, good. How are you doing before? Go ahead.
Yeah, so for me, I don't really pay attention to politics that much, but I just make it passive for me. Something I do passively, I don't really pay almost all of my attention to it. I think, just like as you said, Nigeria cannot be built under 10 years, 15 years. I think it's an individual thing. Sure, you can. I think it's an individual thing. If all Nigerians know what they want individually, we should just strive to get it. You get. So I was speaking to somebody last week and I was telling somebody that, oh, the way this thing is popular in my area and it's now seemingly looking like I'm doing the opposite of it. Oh, so you get, I'm in school, I got a trade, I'm working, and I'm a business person. I'm like, okay, what is my community doing? Totally the opposite. Someone is waiting for somebody to give somebody money and complaining of poverty and every other thing has to do with relating to the present condition. And I was like, I don't have that much, but I can bet you I don't lack what I want. So coming from where I was before, and I had to talk to myself, I was like, no. It is not Buhari. It is me. If I can outsource what I want, I think I'm good. So the issue what I'm saying is that, okay, if we're going out to vote, let's just vote our minds and let's just vote our beliefs. But still, it has to do with this individuality concept.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just believe so.
Thank you so much, Bernard. And God will help us to think right, you know. But please, for anything you do, most importantly, a nation is only as strong as its weak. You know that, you know a level of understanding and peace in your life. A nation is only as strong as its weak. If the weak is not liberated, no, a nation can't be strong. A nation can't be strong, honestly. And it starts by leadership. And it's not only leadership, it starts by having a process for a national creed that even brings about leaders that think of the weak. Which is a big, big task. The leaders that think of the weak without thinking of how to weaponize the weak. Or weaponize sentiment and bigotry. So, we need to be careful as we go out there. We need to be careful. We need to be very careful. Even our engagements, even our mindset and our approach to things, we need to be careful. Yes, don't get me wrong, we've all been hurt, but, you know, one thing I've always constantly told people is the fact that you might be hurt, yes. But the truth is, as long as you're alive, you have the capacity to try again. And don't make the illusion that because somebody hurts you, every other person will hurt you. It goes back to my theory of individuals. Everybody is first an individual before you think of their stock and their makeup. We've seen people on national TV that have played that same card, and you see how it's burnt them. I remember a top businessman, I don't want to mention his name, but you all know the story. Said he supported somebody in business. And in fact, he supported somebody so much that he gave the person, he put his own shares in a very major bank on the line because the person is, you know, a king's man. But the person didn't still do him well. He lost his shares in the bank forever. And that share today, because the bank has grown so big, will have been worth billions. The bank is one of the biggest banks in Nigeria today, if not the biggest. But he said then that, oh, I supported him because he knows a young boy from my area is just growing up. But hey, when the other person was about to do him dirty, did he think of the fact that it was from my area, I shouldn't do him dirty? We're individuals first. And it was just an argument I'm putting down there. Think of that. 0700 903 903 903. 0700 903 903 903. You can call us up. I know this message is a very powerful one, and a lot of people are just soaking it in and introspecting. And I see a lot of you, Millie Joan, Shagwana, Maruka Uche, Ejiofor, Otebeze, Stella Dubo Ovia, Anthony Obiora, Pascal Agu, Uzochukwu Wanube, Pascal Agu, Olayinka Van Hoot. Great to have all of you. Sazari Egbereva, you know. Thank you guys so much. I see all of you. I appreciate you guys. Mostly our friends in the diaspora community. Bless you all. And here in Nigeria. So the message out there, I've put it on my Twitter page at Roof of the Fire. You can check for the link. It's called Nationhood Part 2. I think I also put it on my Facebook page. And Rufai Oseni, yeah, that's it on Facebook. So I'm trying to keep up with this social media. So, I mean, those are the things we should to think about. But hey, you want to call me up, it's fine. 0700 903 903 903 903. But the trust of the message is the most important tenet of every nation is how it treats its weak. Every other thing is embedded in that. How it treats people that are weak. Every other thing is embedded in that. Every other thing is embedded in that. How he treats the weak is reflective in every area. Every angle, every sector. its national life is reflective in how it treats the weak. How the nation treats people that are below in society, that can't do anything for themselves. It's all surrounded around that. So, 0700 903 903 903. 0700 903 903 903. I am supposed to have a guest coming by 10, but let me see if I can put him through on the air now. Okay, I got a couple of people calling us up already. Hello, how are you?
Hello, good morning, Rufai.
Great to have you.
My name is Emmanuel. Calling from Bucknell.
From where?
From Bucknell.
From
Bucknell, Lagos.
Oh, Bucknell, Lagos. Go ahead.
I so much love the inspiration you are putting out there. I so much love what you are doing.
Bless you.
See, the thing that we human beings don't know is that before we became whatsoever we are today, we are once a human being. Before you are a Yoruba man, or an Hausa man, or an Igbo man, you are once a human being. So, the passing from the right or from the move of humanity will indicate that you have lost the sense of humanity in every aspect. When I was a little younger, I don't mind getting in touch with everybody, whether you're an Hausa or you're an Igbo man or anybody you are. But since I've grown up, my old age have taught me many things. My old age have taught me many things. I learned that I will not have to eat together with a Muslim man because he's a Muslim. I learned that I will not have to do things with a Christian man because he's a Christian. But forgetting that before they were Muslims, before they were Christians, they are human beings. So I don't know why my background and my religion will be a detriment to my success. I never thought things will change in my old age. I never do. But I'm looking towards the day that I will see my country. I will see the world. I will see the whole universe looking at me by my potential and not by who I am and not by my background or where I'm from. Thank you for listening.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. 0700 903 903 903. 0700 903 903 903. I got a couple of calls coming in. Hello, how are you? Hello? Oh, we lost that. 0700 903 903 903. 0700 903 903 903. A nation is only as strong as it's weak. That's how a nation, the strength of a nation. Hello, how are you?
Hello, good morning, sir. This is Madam Shechko from Aurora, Colorado, sir.
Yes, so bless you, ma. How are you?
Thank you so much for your teaching.
Thank you so much.
Your teaching is what's going to mark register in their so-called churches. Your teachings educate and impact me as a person. are going to Nigeria churches to mark register. Like what you said, we are first human beings, for goodness sake.
Yes.
None of us was there to make a decision. The tribe, the culture, the color we want to come to life. So why should we judge ourselves by colors and tribe? When I look at Nigeria's situation, despite the different tribe title we have, I can only classify us, if we must go by tribe, for two tribes. The tribe of the oppressed and the tribe of the oppressors.
Yeah.
In the tribe of the oppressors, they don't know tribe, they don't know religion. They marry themselves, they eat together, they dine together. During politics, they come to the public to tell us they are PDP or APC. Outside, but inside, they go together, they dine together, they marry themselves, they do every other thing together. And we that are being oppressed, we buy into their languages and we fight ourselves for our own detriment and to their own victory. And until we, Nigeria, understand this mind game they play on us, and we now recognize ourselves as they recognize themselves in their own tribe and live together and speak together, we will never get victory over these oppressors. And that breaks my heart every day. Because when we look at the forthcoming election, it is not their children that will do the evil they are programming us to do. Their children will not rig election for them. Their children will not become stars on the street, fighting and depriving other citizens of Nigeria to cast their vote. And yet, we are still the one who will cry foul tomorrow when they use us to select them into power. We are still the one who will suffer the brunt and the pain and the agony. We are still the one that will still be left behind as the world is going global. We are still 1960 behind, and yet we are not ready to change. We still have the opportunity, few days to the election. Nigeria, let all of us that belong to the tribe of the oppressed make up our mind not to work for our oppressors anymore. Because if we do, we are just like an orange. After you take the sweetness of an orange, you trash it. Do not let them use us again as an orange. Let us vote wisely. Let us vote for competency, intelligence, those who have our interests at hand, that will move us from where we are now and join the global war in 2023. Thank you so much, my brother. God bless you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Mama Bossu, I see you just joined us all the way from Netherlands. Thank you guys so much. Mama HQ, that's what's Emperor saying. A lot of people are sending messages in. Hello, how are you? Hello?
Hello, good day, sir.
Please turn off the volume of your radio set. Great to have you. Good day. How are you?
My name is Anthony.
Great to have you, Anthony.
I'm calling from Ajambadi.
Yes.
This is my first time to your program. I just had it and I took interest on the program.
Thank you so much, Anthony.
Please, I love what you're doing because in this country, the tribalism is vivid. Even people outside Nigeria, they see what is happening in Nigeria. I remember when I was a child, when I was in a higher institution, we voted, we didn't know anything about tribalism. But when I left school, I traveled to many countries. I didn't see anything like tribalism. Like in Germany, there is nothing like that. The strong people, the rich people, and the poor people, they just live alike. You hardly can find the difference. But in Nigeria, it's open. And now, the political class, they are using this what you call the weapon of poverty on the promises. And the people are not even learning. Please, I want you to also help. Let the poor people, let we who are being used, the weak, to understand what the people are doing. Because if we keep doing like this, I tell you, in the next 100 years, we'll get to nowhere. Nigeria will disintegrate or totally break into pieces. What I'm saying is that there must be an institution that will enlighten the people, tell the people what these people are doing. Because in this next election, you will see them come with money back. And let me tell you, a drowning man can hold on anything to be rescued. So when somebody is poor and hungry and comes to the election ground, because he has nothing in his stomach, he wants to hold anything that they give to him. And this is what the political class are using against us.
Okay.
I want you to let people...
Anyway, you want me to, but that's just what I've done. It's because I've done that. That's why you didn't call.
You have done it. Yes, thank you very much.
Go ahead and you to pass on the message as much as you can. Thank you. All right. Really appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. 0700 903 903 903. Let me reach out to somebody. I've got to talk to Iboro Ocho is running for governor in Akwa Ibom. But he's not supporting his presidential candidate. And that's Omoyele Sowore. So I'd like to ask him what's really, really going on. If he picks up the phone, I mean, that has been on for a while. Hello?
Hello, Minister.
Iboro, please hold on. Just hold on. Hello, how are you? Yeah, talk to me, sir.
My name is Iboro from Oshodi.
Yeah.
I've been listening to a program.
Yeah.
It's very good. It's educative.
Thank you.
But one thing, you see, the man that speaks first, let me start from where he stopped. He talked about tribalism. For me, tribalism is not a bad thing. You must know where you come from.
Yeah.
It's all over the world. Even Bible makes us understand that God said he loves Israel.
No, tribalism is a bad thing. No. Tribalism is a bad thing. Don't say it's not a bad thing. It is a bad thing because tribalism means favoring people, having a very affinity to people, or not supporting people because they don't come from your tribal stock. That's a bad thing. It's not a bad thing to identify with your tribe. Don't get me wrong. But tribalism itself is what is bad.
Okay.
It's not a bad thing to identify with your tribe. You can tribalize, you get. So it's excessive,
Hello?
Yeah. It's excessive.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
Nigerian problem is the law, the constitution that binds the nation. I love what the man said, that even if a good man becomes the president, what is on ground will make the man unpopular. That is pure truth.
No, that was what I said. I said that.
So now, the constitution itself, if you look at Jonathan is trying to do well, but it's simply because a match on these people that make him what he is, and people not turn against him. Tomorrow now, somebody has good mind to make the country good, but because the people that brought him a match on them, they will turn against the person as well and make the person unpopular in the government. Okay, look at it, Buhari. I know it is difficult in what we are facing, but it's a good thing. It's a good moment. Okay. Now, after shouting, masses, can anybody wake up today and say, let all the government stand down so that we renew the constitution? Let it be Nigerian constitution and not the constitution of the cabal. What we are putting in Nigeria is the constitution of the cabal.
Okay.
And if you listen to Mustafa will be going telling us the truth, what is happening. But because it's not money bag, many of us will not talk about him. Many of us will not read the meaning of what he's saying.
Thank you so much.
Mama Gaddafi say something, 2008, 2009. If the Mark, Senate President then shot him down. Today, that's where we are heading to. Thank you.
Okay, that's your view. So, there are a couple of definitions of tribalism, but organizing a group identifying with your tribe, which is one of the definitions of tribalism, is not a bad thing. But the problem is that overt support and that jaundiced view that, oh, it's only your tribe that can do well, other people cannot do well. Another definition of tribalism, that is a bad thing. Iboro, great to have you. I mean, I don't know what is happening. What is happening in Akwa Ibom State? You are running for governor, but you are not supporting your presidential candidate, Shawara. What is happening?
Good morning, my brother.
Good morning.
It's a situation that we wouldn't want to find ourselves in because we are gearing up to win on all fronts.
So you are the you are the AAC candidate in your state, right?
We will be doing great disservice to Nigerians if we don't tell them where the red flags are and what we
No, let me just get something right, Iboro. Iboro, you are the AAC presidential governorship candidate in your state, right?
Sir?
You are the AAC governorship candidate in your state, right?
That is correct. I'm the African Action Congress.
So that's Shawara's party. But you had loggerheads with Shawara. What is happening? Why are you people fighting?
Okay, so sometime last year, we, the governors, had come together to address certain issues in the party. Because with our extensive political experience, we realized we needed to deepen democratic participation by opening up the party to more memberships, and that would mean consolidating on state structures. Most of us did not have like state ESCOs, ward ESCOs, unit ESCOs, so we put together a long letter, which I shared with you, itemizing things we believe the party needed to do for us to grow our base rapidly. And it was to a shock to most of us that the leaders of the governors, because we had like a forum and a representation, got expelled from the party, 4 of them, and this happened in December, and albeit illegally. So we tried to, see how to resolve the issues by rooting out probably the elements that had orchestrated this. But unfortunately, we realized we went all the way to Showra, and all the other governorship candidates reached across personal to Showra. They wrote letters as well, but he remained adamant. And over the months and weeks that came, we realized that he did not represent in any way the kind of leadership that we wanted in the country, whether it's in a personal capacity or in the leadership capacity. And most of those governors now were expelled, making the number 12. And remember, we have about 15 to 17 gubernatorial candidates in the AAC in Nigeria, and that would be like a majority, a very huge number. And over time, we have been meeting and moving forward with the debacle in the party. But fortunately for us, the Electoral Act is very clear on the matter with regards to our candidacy and with regards to what the party can do in an election. And so we are advising Nigerians that, look, with all the blackmail that has been going on with Showra using Sahara Reporters to blackmail us, hoping to bend us to go his way, telling people printing on printable names that we are going to PDP, APC, and all whatnot. It just goes to show that when it comes to agreeing to a point that is not theirs, one is seen as an opposition or working for opposition elements, and all these nasty things that is being said.
So how come the things degenerate? Because I'm also going to try to get the other side of the story to balance it. I'll see if I can call one of their party spokespersons to talk to this. How come the things go seriously very awry between all of you? Because, things were still all looking good amongst Showra and you guys to a certain extent for a while.
You have to realize that when Showra got this party, it was 2 weeks to elections. So basically, each and every one of us took this party to our states and built it. Where AAC is in every state today is because of the candidate. Same as in my state, there was nothing, no structure. So it would be an insult to our democratic intelligence for someone to stand up in a day and say, oh, I own this party and I'm expelling you without following any process. The letters we wrote itemized and you read that we don't have structures in the states to support the party. And we submitted names and suggested people that could work with us to do that. And they have now gone to form some congregate people and call them EXCOs to expel governors. Quite insulting, to be honest. And
you keep saying governors. These are governorship candidates, Abi, because you keep saying governors.
But there doesn't seem to be any progress. Rather, the printed things by the party is not helping us with our campaign.
No, Iboro, let's set this right.
Cutting this off would work very well for Nigerians, so Nigerians can look at other options that they have, and we will soundly stand behind our resolve not to work with him with these presidential elections, and advise Nigerians not to do so.
So you guys, at first, AAC doesn't have any governor in Nigeria. They are governorship candidates. So you guys are saying that you don't want to work with Showore. That's what you're saying. It's not that you...
that is correct.
Okay. Because you have an internal party wrangling.
No, not because we have an internal party problem. Many parties have internal party problems, but they try to resolve it. I think people like Wiki has done way worse than any other person has done for the party, and not that he's negative or positive, but there are always these internal rankings. However, the handling of it, how Showore is exhibiting his leadership style is not what Nigeria needs at the moment. He's divisive and vindictive, and these are not right now in this country. We want a leader that can bring Nigerians together and resolve problems, understanding that they need people to work with. So if Showore, without even being president, is kicking out governorship candidates, who is he going to work with? Imagine he's
so there's been no way to.
Nigeria does not need strong men now. We need strong leaders. We need
strong
institutions.
So there's.
We need people that recognize.
Okay, Mr. Iboro,
and he doesn't have any of this.
Mr. Iboro, can you hear me? Can you hear me? I want to get to the root of the matter. So, has there been any internal party mechanism to be able to settle this back and forth you people have had with, the leader of your party, which is also the presidential candidate?
Yes, there have been. We have written 3 letters to them, which I will share with you, asking for a meeting with the presidential candidate and the working committee of the party. They have refused to meet with us. Showore has never had any meeting with the governorship candidates ever since he became a presidential candidate. None. No meeting with the governorship candidates. Not one. So this is why when they go on Sahara Reporters and they print things like, these people and the press conference that they are having, what they are saying is not true. What I'm asking them to do, which I expect you to ask them to do, is if Showore says that he has governorship candidates on his side, he should have a press conference. Let him call them as we did in our press conference and fellow governors. Let him call the governors that are on his side and have a press conference to do what we are saying. If he cannot call them physically because of the election time, let him have a Zoom press conference. If a leader cannot call the next in line of his leadership in his own party, how does he qualify to be a president in the country?
Okay,
just the level of divisiveness.
Just hold on a minute.
In the party, and we strongly, the 12 of us strongly say no. Iboro, I want.
Iboro, can you hear me? I want to get to the root of this matter. Just hold on a bit. I'm going to get somebody on the line from the AAC, one of their party spokespersons. Just hold on the line. I'm going to call him up now because we need to get to the root of this matter and hear both sides on what is happening. So I'm trying to ring up Femi Adeyeye, AAC, party spokesperson on the line. Let's see how this pans out. Hopefully Femi picks up and we are able to talk about this. In case you're just joining us, this is still the political, angle to the show this morning. I couldn't get Femi Adeyeye, but if you're close to him, tell him that I've been trying to get him. Iboro, I'm trying to get somebody too from the party.
I'm sure you called them and you told them that I would be on the line on the other side.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't even tell them. No, I didn't tell them. I didn't tell them.
Okay.
No, just so that's what I'm saying. Let me try.
Okay.
But some people are saying that you belong to the neo-Nat faction. Where did you get your candidacy nomination from? That's what some people are saying. But let me also still try Let me still try Femi. Hopefully he calls me back.
Decided to behave the way he has with this his plan. We have never met Leonard before. I have never met him in my life. The reason why I joined the EEC was because, like other people, I entered the one chance of seeing Showore doing some activities, and I believe that this man represents what we think should change Nigeria. But it is a show. It's a complete show, and he is worse than the leaders we want to change as a person. Imagine a leader telling his governors that they shouldn't have a forum to meet. This problem started started because we started meeting as governors to find ways to support ourselves because we're a small party and we have no money. They kicked against it. No, you can't have that. No, you guys cannot be. There is no forum. There is no meeting room of candidates in the party. None. The only one that exists is a WhatsApp group that is used as a notice board. You can't post, but you can only bid. Can you imagine this? So this is why if you line up the governors, not other candidates, if you line up the governors and ask members of the National Working Committee to pick their governors of the states, they don't know any because there is no place where they meet.
Okay.
It is that bad. And this also should tell you, ever since we've done this press conference for a week plus now, no governor, no House of Reps member, no senatorial member, no candidate has come out to say anything negative. How come he can't marshal his at least governors next to him that are supporting him? Or senators, or some people? It goes to show the collapse in the system of leadership, which he himself has instituted. And we have been quiet over this over time, putting in all our resources to get this to work. And then when you get to my state, for example, I don't need to tell you where we are on the ballot. People will tell you how far we've come. I dealt that. And when someone sits behind a computer on a phone and starts sending out negative information to people, oh, we sacked this one, oh, we sacked that one, it looks ridiculous. And you ask yourself, is this what this country needs at the moment? We should be talking about nation building. Look, the naira is not even available. People don't have enough fuel to buy, to move their cars. I mean, the last thing we want to have in this country is to bring a leadership that believes he's a strong man and can solve all the problems on his own. He's a Jesus Christ. That one is a thief. This one is a criminal. That one is a crook. That one is selling out. No. At least the best we can do.
Okay. Iboro, let me try.
What we have said.
Let me try calling.
People that look, this man is not what you think he is. He's
wait a minute. Let me try calling Femi Adeyeye again of the AAC so that we can get a balanced, point of view as regards all of this. And it's all sides, all views here, and a lot of people are sending in comments, here. But I'm still trying to call Femi once again, and hopefully if he sees my call, he should be able to pick it up and come back to me quickly. A lot of people are commenting on this matter. Say, put up this attitude aside if you want to fly AAC flag. Paul George is saying, sure, as a presidential candidate, secretary, chairman, state chairman, BOT, very unserious man looking to cash out. A lot of people are saying all sorts of comments. Iboro, I've tried to call Femi twice. He's not picked up. But hopefully, maybe before the end of the show, if we can get Femi, or somebody from the AAC itself, then we'll be able to.
I'll come on board.
Yeah, we'll be able to come on board, But let me also send messages across to them. Let's debate all of this,
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Let's debate all of this. So I'll get back to you now. So that's one point of view there, as regards what is happening in the AAC leading up to the presidential election. So much politicking going on here. And let me see as regards how we can get one of the spokespersons of the AAC, to be able to come talk to us. Definitely they'll get a right to reply when they get the chance or when they get across to us, so that you can balance things out in the conversation. All right. Okay. So we're trying as much as possible to get across to Femi from the AAC, and we can't get across to him. All right, you can call us up 0700 0700 903 903 903. 0700 903 903 903. Okay, so you can call us up. I'm trying to make contacts with everybody in the AAC as possible and get the other side of the story. Hello, how are you?
My name is Suleiman. I'm calling from.
Yeah.
I'm very, very happy for this program.
Yep. Go ahead, Solomon.
Thank you so much. Because there are some other on English, when you find you want to express your feeling, they will tell you because they knew that black is at the they don't want you to talk what is going on. They will tell you that there are some words and you are not. We are not going to utter a bad word, but when you want to utter it, they will have already seen it out.
I can't hear you.
In those people that are there, that are treating the poor, that are killing them. That's why they don't want to utter words. I'm very happy with this program because you say it. You say it because, for example, now, all these people doing campaigns, I knew that they are not going to money, cashless, political. Look, I was in university then. I remember, I think I write it down then. I was supposed to have this, my whole university teaching. I was supposed to have 7,368 lectures. But the whole lectures I have, was 1,900. And then when you want to talk, the president will tell you that you shouldn't talk. Some these things are not right. I'm very happy that you bring this up. That everybody thank you very much. Hello, sir.
Hello. Thank you so much. Really appreciate you. Thank you so much. Zero 903 903 903 0700 903 903 903 903. Okay, so I'm getting some clarification now as regards some Iboro's claim. I'm getting some message coming out of the AAC that he's since been expelled. Iboro has been expelled since January for trying to sell his own tickets to the PDP. So that's the other side of the story we are seeing now. Iboro has been he's been expelled since January for trying to sell his own tickets to, the PDP. So I will call Iboro back and give him this feedback so we can get it all clear as regards that. All right. I'm ringing Iboro back now to be able to get this message out there to him because I think this is about the only, I have got thus far. Hello, Iboro.
Yes, sir.
I've been trying to get across, but one message I got out is that you were expelled since January for trying to sell your tickets to the PDP. Yeah, that's one message I got.
They should come and say it to our faces. You see, this is why they are running. They don't want to come forward. So they sit behind the computer and the phones, and then they write all sorts of things on the computer and make press releases. Why don't they have a press conference like we do, like we did, and call the governors that are on their side? Because they have no one. They are all paper tigers. See, this is the problem. Sahara Reporters is a tool that Showore has used to blackmail people, and he wants to extend that into a political entity, which is not possible. And this is what we are fighting against. AAC is a political party, not a people-worshipping extension of Sahara Reporters. So when they came and they are coming with these allegations, you ask them, where is your proof? Where is the candidate? I am still in the race. I'm running to the end. All our governors are running to the end, like I said in the interview on Arise TV and even in our press conferences. So I don't understand how you are selling out and you're still running in the race. I am not promoting any candidate, and we are into the elections. And 2 weeks after that, I'm having my election. So when is this sellout going to happen? The truth of the matter is we are faced with a blackmailer that is very smart, understands how to game the system, and has almost succeeded. But what we are doing is raise red flags to Nigerians and we are telling them, look, we are first in line with this man in the party, and we understand who he is. All he does is position to get money and support from the diaspora, and that's how he lives.
Okay, so let
me forward. He's not doing anything in that direction, and we are not supporting him in any way.
So let me also read this to you, because you kept on mentioning Sahara Reporters, but it's not only Sahara Reporters that picked up the story. The Punch also picked up the story that the governorship candidates were expelled over gross violation of the party's constitution. Those affected include Engineer Liu Ahmed, Chairman Kwara, O2 of Akwa Ibom State, that's you, Iboro, O2, signed by the state chairman, Tipeti Bet, So, and they say you guys are persisting because of all of it. And they said, okay, consequently, the State Executive Committee, relying on Section 81, subsection 3, in line with Section 81, hereby expels you from the party and you cease to be a member of the party. Another signed letter of the chairman in Kwara State address, blah, 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 and it goes on and on and on. So the message out there is that you guys are the ones blackmailing, that you've since ceased to be a member of the political party. And why I'm saying this is because of the party supremacy. I mean, look at the case with what is even happening in another political party as regards to presidential candidate that is since been suspended from the party. Now INEC is not listening to him because the party reigns supreme.
Yes, sir. My chief, you check the INEC register, we are there as candidates. And the electoral is very clear on our candidacy. The time for change or removal has passed. So if they know that what they are doing is illegal, but they are doing that to blackmail us, that is not possible. No one can change any candidate at the moment. If they wanted to change a candidate, they know what to do. They would have gone to court. So you have to understand the games they are playing. Now, I have 12 candidates with me at the moment. They expelled 4. What about the 6 that left them to our side? You should ask them these questions. These are smart questions you should ask, because we have 15 governorship candidates in the country, and 12 are with us. And that's why I'm asking you to ask them. If they have those candidates, let them have a press conference like we did. We had a press conference on video, and the candidates came forward. So let's also have a press conference with the candidates that are with him. If he's too busy because of the elections, let him have a Zoom press conference. It will settle the matter. There's no need sitting behind the computer and phone, texting things and passing.
Are you having any? Okay, I think I got Femi here. Hello, Femi. Hi, how are you? I've been trying to get across to you. Good to have you. So, Femi, I mean, there's a matter that cropped up here, and I want you to help us clarify. Iboro O2, one of the expelled governors. I would like to put both of you on the line. He stated his own part of the story. I'd like to merge both of you on this call. All right. Femi is the spokesperson of the party, the AAC, one of the spokespersons of the party. And Mr. Iboro too is here. He's saying he's a governorship candidate of the party in your state, but there are stories out there that he's since been expelled. Let me hear your own side and the representative of the party of what really happened as regards this matter.
All right. Like you rightly said, that this element that Iboro has been expelled from the party. He and 3 others were expelled on 31st of December 2002 after they failed to appear before a disciplinary panel that was set up by the state working committee to give them, just to fulfill the principle of fair hearing. They were handed over a letter of query to respond to within 72 hours, but they failed to respond to that query. And so for that reason, the State Working Committee, in line with the Constitution of the Party, Section 81, Subsection 4, found them guilty of insubordination and several other misconduct, as clearly stated in the letter of expulsion that was then handed over to them on the 31st of December 2022. So these elements who are separating themselves as candidates of the party actually perpetrating illegality, and we have informed members of the public not to deal with these persons, and security agencies are also being informed. So when I saw that interview yesterday, it was brought to my notice this morning, the interview on Arise TV, and Arise describing him as the governorship candidate of the party. I just felt, this should not be, because I think our journalists should start doing proper work of investigation before they bring people to their stations.
But it's all sides, all views. It's all sides, all views. We can no, Femi. I'll need to stop you there. It's all sides, all views. We have a right to bring everybody that has grievance to the media to state their own part. Yes. But it is in having the conversation the truth will emerge, and that's why I called you for balancing here. All right.
Yes.
So please don't come and play that dirty game politicians play and blame journalists for everything. Please, I don't like it. Don't try that with me. I will not take that. It's all sides, all views. Despite the fact that he's been
correct.
Yeah, despite the fact that he's been suspended from your party, Iboro too still has expelled from your party. Iboro too still has a right to be able to be heard in the media. It is for you to come and counter it and bring clarity to the matter.
Mr. Rufai,
no, Iboro, let Femi finish, please. Iboro, please, let Femi finish. Yeah. Hello?
No, I said I'm not disputing his right to freedom of expression. That's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that these elements should stop impersonating. If it's impersonation, to go on TV and say, oh, you're a governorship candidate of the party, it would have been better if you said, oh, I'm an expelled member of the party, so I do not speak in that line of being a governorship candidate of the party. So it's not possible. Before you can be the governorship candidate of the party, you must be a member of the party. So as of today, it's easy to be the member of the party, and that's why the public must be wary of characters like this.
So who is now who is the new governorship candidate in Akwa Ibom State? Hello, Femi.
Yes, I'm with you.
Who is the new governorship candidate of your party in Akwa Ibom State?
Good question.
All right, so that has been with Highland.
No, Iboro, hang on a minute, please. Let Femi speak. Who is the governorship candidate of your party in Akwa Ibom State now?
As of today, that has not been settled, and that's part of the issues with the Electoral Act 2022. The General Secretary had a discussion with the EPM in INEC, and on Monday, I think there'll be a feedback as regards that discussion. But as of today, and this is the position of the party that I'm discussing with you, the fact is that Iboro too ceases to be the governorship candidate of the party because he has been expelled from the party.
Okay.
That's the position of the party as of this moment.
Okay, so Iboro, we've gotten some clarity. You've been expelled from the party. You cease to be the governorship candidate. The party is saying you don't have a right to parade yourself. And like I said to you, based on the laws, the parties reign supreme. What's your take on this, Iboro?
All what they are talking about is illegality, and it is quite sad that people that claim to be exposed in the law and hold positions in political parties at the national level could be saying that. It is, you don't expel people on the back of newspapers. The position on INEC, the INEC registration portal says it all. And the Electoral Act has stated it clearly. There's a time for expulsion, removal, substitution of candidates which has passed. If there is anything that has to do with that with any of the candidates, INEC has the last say. They have said that very clearly.
No, but the party has a right to expel a candidate. INEC doesn't have a say on the party expelling the candidate.
I told you, we wrote a letter to the party because we don't have ESCOs in the state. When we wrote the letter in November, we had only chairman and secretary, which I was the one that gave it. So according to the constitution, the expulsion has to be from the unit to the wards. And we don't have any structure like that. We don't even have state ESCOs. This is what we were complaining about. So they can't sit in Abuja and start writing letters and sending Sahara reporters. And that is why that case is in court as we speak. There is a case in court on that matter. And also, if they are talking about illegality, other governors have come to join us as well. This is not just talking about people that we illegally said we expel. Like I said, we are 12 in number. It goes to show that what they are doing, according to the law which we are...
No, Femi, hang on. Let him land and then
illegal,
you speak.
Null and void, and we are going to pursue it to the end. We are all members of the African Action Congress. We've done all the work like everybody else. And they cannot sit in their office. Just ask him to read from his whatever list he has, who the chapter and the what is when they were registered, who they are. These are laws that they have broken, and they are electoral laws. And thank God the system of registration of the party is digital. You would look at when they formed that kangaroo court, who those members were, who was the secretary that signed it, because in African Action Congress in Biden today, you have only the chairman and the secretary.
Okay.
What kind of party runs like that? And this is why we came together as governors in the first place, all of us, to write the letters that we couldn't run a party like that. And you've seen the letter which I've sent to you, 3 letters. They refused to respond. They refused to meet with us. Till today, they've never met with the governors of the party. And they stood up to Sahara reporters and started expelling people out of the party.
Okay. But
the law court, and the court will decide. So
okay.
whatever he's saying is just media talk.
Okay.
INEC are the people that can talk on the matter, and right now, I am the candidate of the party, and they can say whatever they want. Not just me, every other candidate that is in this race in the state, in their state, they are running, and we are saying that this kind of leadership that they are exposing frustrates the democracy we represent, and it is quite unfortunate that it is young people who are championing that, oh, we want to change this country.
Okay, Iboro, let Femi please speak on this. But since you said this matter is in court already, do you think bringing it to the media and doing media, rounds on the matter is also better when the matter is in court? Since you've gone to court, I think you two need to think hard and long about that, Iboro. Secondly, yeah, Femi, what's your reaction to this?
We are challenging our removal from the party. We are not challenging if Showore should run for president. Where we are in the press is that we are not supporting his run for presidency. There are 12 governors, regardless of those that have cases in court or not. Remember, like I said, we have many governors.
But Iboro,
we are not supporting him as the presidential candidate.
Iboro, the premise on which Iboro, hang on a minute. Iboro, hang on a minute. No, Femi, you will come in. But the premise at which you are in the media is because of the fact that you were expelled, and you are saying the matter is in court. So I'm just asking you again: do you think it's wise, since you have taken the case to court, to still be coming out to the media? Femi, what's your response?
Yes. So let me quickly answer it in this regard. One is we are assuring Nigerians that our party is not a special purpose vehicle rather for negotiation. Yes, and that's what many of these guys are trying to do. We want to trade off.
No, Iboro, please, you can't interrupt when he's speaking now.
Allow me.
Iboro, you can't interrupt when he's speaking, please.
For corrupt reasons. And so while we will come out straight on this, and to make it very clear to people who are also following up with the party, is that the issue that he raised about, we wrote the national. Our party do not have any segment. There's no section in the party like G5, G2, G3. Every member of the party have equal access to all the party organs. So there is a candidates forum where everybody discusses. If you have any issues, everybody.
Wait now, Iboro.
You have a notice board.
Iboro.
We understand that they are
Iboro.
already planning to meet Senator Diamo to endorse Tinubu. So just allow me. I understand that you are yet to get what you wanted was actually to get the structure that you would use for such negotiation, but that's not happening. And so I understand.
Iboro, hang on a minute. Iboro. Hello, Iboro.
There are no other governors. That want.
Iboro, let him speak, please. Let him speak.
Iboro, the expelled member, you are the one pushing all these figures around. Though that there are 12 governors somewhere. There are 13 governors somewhere.
Iboro.
It is the 4 of you that have been exposed, that are moving up and down doing your press conferences. Other governorship candidates and deputy governorship candidates of our party, they've written, a rejoinder.
Femi, please, because Iboro was interrupting, please. Femi, hello, Femi.
What we are saying is that we are not going to close off the party.
Wait. Hey, hello?
Nobody will because yeah, all we are saying is that
guys,
we cannot keep
guys,
around
cool it down,
to close off
please.
the party's ticket. No, this is not SPV. AAC is different, and we have made that promise to Nigerians that even against all odds, they are going to stand with that courage to do what is right at all times.
Femi, no, Iboro, please, can you hear me? Iboro, can you hear me? I don't think you can hear me at all.
Yes, sir.
We are trying to get clarity on the matter. I must have to confess, Iboro, your behavior is unworthy just now of a governorship candidate in the States. I must have to confess to you.
I'm sorry about that, sir.
I must have to confess to you. I will get Femi back on the line. He has a right to say what he's saying. He had made grave allegations against you, and we must hear that allegation. Now you are the one gagging, which is not good. We want clarity.
Go ahead, sir. I'm listening.
And please, Iboro, I beg you, you must not interrupt. Please, just let him have his own say. Just hang on a minute and let Femi come back on this. He said some things, then you'll get your own time to respond. I beg you. We just want to get clarity on this matter. All sides, all views. Femi, please, because Iboro interrupted half the time, I want you to say the allegation. You said Iboro was trying to use the party structure to go and get favors from the APC and endorse and meet Festus Keyamo and all. Please say all of that again. Iboro, don't interrupt. When is your time? You talk.
We know all of these things, and he knows we know.
What did you know? What do you know? Femi,
Hello?
go ahead, please. What do you know?
No, we know that they are already meeting and they are trying to meet with Festus Keyamo. You know, and he knows that. Except, is he still on this call?
Yes, he's still on the call.
I think he would need to refute that. We have chats, we have screenshots of all of these things, including the one in Taraba, who sent me a chat asking that, if I would help him to solve this issue of expulsion, that there's a particular, arrangement of funding that would come to myself and come to himself. You see, one thing we must understand is that if you want to change Nigeria, you're going to have a lot of enemies, even within the party, because there are several persons coming into the political party who have different interests. But for us, we have created an internal mechanism to check many of these elements. And that was why when Mr. Iboro could not put his own people now in the state structure, he felt frustrated, and that was why he started reaching out to other governors who also had, like-minded, interests. Now, what do we do? How do we then get this state structure in our hands? Because before you go for any negotiation, you must go with at least the crowd, or you go with a structure. But as of today, they do not have hold on any of this party structure, and that is where this whole anger is coming from. So when they reached out, when they wrote several letters, and we did a public internal memoranda to all members, and there is no need for anybody to have any extra legal, organ, create any G5, G2, or aggrieved governors. We don't do that in the AAC. Reach out to the party organ. You have the state working committee, you have the state executive committee, you have the national working committee, and the national executive committee. These are the organs that are, in the constitution of the party. Any other thing is extra legal, and we will not allow that. Because if you start with governors forum today, tomorrow you would have House of Assembly candidate forum. 3 days after that time, you will come up with councillor forum. So, but we don't want to segment the political our party like they do in PDP and APC, and that was why we said reach out to the state working committee. But they did not want to do that because the people in that state working committee are not the set of people who would listen to their negotiation. He knows that I'm saying everything I'm saying is true. So he was trying to enforce new persons to be in the state working committee in Akwa Ibom State. I said, no, this is not going to work. Both of us had a very lengthy discussion on that. Iboro was trying to convince me that, no, we need to change this. I don't want to. I said, this man you said you have a problem with, that's Elder Utip in Akwa Ibom State as the chair. This man you claim you have a problem with, let's sit with him. Let's discuss this problem that you said you have with him. Let's discuss. He said, no, I don't want to have any discussion with him anymore. We cannot work together. There's irreconcilable difference and all of that. We said, okay. But we understood where the game was heading to.
Okay,
And that
so
was why
Femi,
when the state reached out to him, why didn't he respond to the query that was served on the 28th of December 2022? He didn't respond. And that's insubordination to the party of that.
Okay,
and
so
when they were now they are moving right everywhere to say,
so Femi, hang on a minute.
Cannot unite the people and all that. We understand this game. And what we're telling Nigerians is that they should be rest assured that
so
the kind of politicking we are bringing is such that, is of sanity. We want to sanitize the system.
Okay, so
Nigeria needs surgery, and it will start with political party administration.
Okay, so Femi, hold on a bit. Iboro now has a chance, to be able to state his own part. This is the kind of conversation we want. I didn't need to be shouting Iboro. No, that was not called for. You should have given. So, Iboro, please state your own part. Respond to all Femi has said. Hello, Iboro. Oh, hello. Okay. Hello, Iboro. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, so please respond to what Femi has said. Femi made a lot of allegations. He said things like...
I didn't hear anything. I think I was cut off.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, goodness me. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't hear anything.
So what he said pretty much is this. He said that you guys are trying to do a deal with the APC and all of that. That there are even screenshots and text messages of somebody in Taraba and all of that was even trying to say, okay, there's going to be monetary reward. Then he also went further to say that they've tried to broker peace between you and the party chairman in the state, but you said, no, you're not taking any of that at all. All right? So what's your reaction to most of these things, Iboro?
Augusta, I'm sure you understand the strategy of blackmail. And these people are very good at it. Now, at first, they say, oh, we are selling out. And now, if you're not selling out, they say, oh, it is because you're not agreeing to their terms. It's very hard to argue with these people. But there are also ways that people can figure out what's going on. What you should ask them to do is, if the leadership of the party is right, they should gather their next in line. The governors that they say they have on their side. You see, leadership is a people's thing. It's a numbers game. If you can't lead your party, you can't lead anyone. I had a press conference with governors that have not been experienced.
No, they are not governors.
Femi, please don't interrupt. Let him be done. And Femi, this is not Femi, this is no. Femi, that does not show very good decorum from a party spokesman like you. Let him speak, and you speak after he's done.
I am not very clear. I am not a governorship candidate. Now he's not having me talk. You are not a governorship candidate.
Let Femi,
you are not.
Femi,
don't make that mistake.
Please, Femi. Hello, Femi. Can you hear me?
You are an expelled member.
Femi, please. I totally rebuke your conduct. I rebuke your conduct. It's not fair. Because I gave Iboro the time to keep quiet when you were speaking. Let him speak. Please. You should do better. Let's do better now.
Thank you, sir.
Please,
so
Iboro.
What I think they don't understand is that Sahara Reporters is a company, or the ABC is a political party that belongs to the government of Nigeria and is held by law. The party can be bigger than the electoral act of the country. If INEC has stated my position, I don't have to argue with the party because the law is clear on my candidacy. It doesn't matter what is said on the back of newspapers. The only thing I'm trying to clear on the back of newspapers is this. If they claim that the governors I'm talking about are not with us and that they are right, I did a press conference. They also should do a press conference with the governors so Nigerians can see. Okay, if they claim that the time is too short because of election activities, let them do a Zoom press conference. Zoom. This is very clear. There's no need for us to be doing this back and forth because nobody will win. Let them. I did my press conference. They say they have social governors. Do your press conference. Let them show that they are in support of your presidential candidate, that your leadership is fair. You have 100 and something candidates. Don't be talking alone on radio and on TV. You don't get candidates. It is an election. Don't be play. To show your power. Nigerians want to be convinced to see that you can lead And this is what I'm saying. I'm not coming here to fight party with you. I am saying that Sowore does not have what it takes to lead the country. That he's a divisive person. And that is why he's not having any candidates, even in his party, follow him. And if I am saying what I'm saying is a lie, let him come up with majority of his candidates as governors. Let's see in a Zoom, and I will rest my case. Stop arguing with people. Do press conference. I did a press conference as a small governor and a presidential candidate, and you, as the publicity secretary of the party, you cannot bring your governors together, even in your party. Even those that you say you've not expelled, you expelled 4. 4 minus 17 is 11. Bring them. Have you 13? Bring them in a press conference. Now bring them in a Zoom press conference. Zoom. Don't need to be arguing. You don't have the leadership. You've lost the legitimacy to lead both the party and the country. And the reason is because we kept advising you on how to play the politics. That, look, you need to grow the base of the party. You can't have a party with only a chairman and a secretary, like I have in my state and many other states. What kind of party is that? As a state structure. No local government structure, no work structure, no unit structure. How do you want to do an election? Election on Facebook. Election is not social media pictures. You need to build a structure to win, and we kept telling them. But then we realized, look, people like these people don't want one election. This thing, I want chance. We realized late that, look, these guys are playing a game. They're not playing politics. And we are not ready to play that politics with Nigerians. So what we are saying as the people is this, regardless of what is happening in the party, many parties are having these problems as well. But with this election, we are too broken as a people to be quiet and say, oh, I'm a partisan politician, let me keep quiet and get it for the election. And then Nigerians will be falling into the same trap we're falling into. That Sowore does not represent the leadership. He does not represent it as a person and as a candidate. He has not led the party right, and he cannot lead this country correctly. It's very simple. Okay. Every other thing is already in court. Whether I am a candidate or not, it's already in court.
No.
Let them come to the court.
But real quickly.
Tell the court to remove me as a candidate from the
But real quickly, Iboro,
that will be it.
Iboro, I want you to respond to the allegations made. Are you talking to other political parties? Femi says they've got a WhatsApp chat of one of the expelled governors and all of that. They've got
Let
evidence.
Them release it.
So Femi,
Let them release it. I'm tired of their blackmail. Release all what you have.
Can I go ahead?
Yeah. Okay. Let Femi speak.
This is what happens when you take off the rug from their feet. They're trying to scamper for safety, and that's why they go ahead to say things like this. But you have also on air exposed some of the ignorance to Nigerians. Number one ignorance is the fact that you think INEC is the one that determines who is the candidate. But you'll be shocked when you get that response on Monday. Because when right there on the EC9 form where you fill in, I did it almost every candidate came, everything ended on my table. There is a part. It is the party. Let me make this very clear. I don't want to take you through any technical. It is the party that sponsors candidates. The party sponsors candidates. It's written there as a declaration. It is the party that sponsors the candidate. And when the party says that this person seems to be a member, not even a member, is an expelled. This person has been expelled due to gross misconduct and everything. That's the end. But you will get to know some of those things. But for now, I understand that you want to make move from one place to another, blackmail the party, talk down on the candidacy of Omele Sowore so that you can get some kind of attraction from the people you are already looking. But I mentioned it, and I'm not hiding it. I'm going to send the screenshots to Mr. Rufai.
Please send the screenshots to me.
You're trying to meet with Festus Kiyamo and all of that. And one of you was even saying, can we just do this very fast before it gets too late? Many political parties are already cashing out from this whole thing. 5 just stepped down for Atiku of the PDP. And, so these are issues on that. And on the angle of Mr. Rufai.
No. You can't interrupt. Let him speak. We're wrapping up now.
Can I just continue?
Yeah.
And on the presidential ambition of Omele Sowore, that's sacrosanct. It is crystal clear to Nigerians that this is the only anti-establishment and anti-system candidate on the ballot. What you have always advised is how we can trick the system, how we can enter the system and use that system to make gains for ourselves. But we are telling you that this is not who we are. This is not who we are. And because we are not playing the kind of game, that you want us to play, that was how you started with the whole, oh, let's change, leadership in the state. Let us do this. And I made that. I said it to Mr. Rufai before you joined. That you were, so adamant on getting the state structure out of place, out of your way, so that you can put in people that are loyal to your own, cause, so that you can go for your legislation. But we saw that beforehand, and then those steps were taken. Simple query of you coming to come and explain why you're creating an extra organ of the party, the governors forum and all of that. That's not everybody, like I said earlier, and people are the party organ.
Okay. Femi, let Iboro respond.
The organs that are constitutionally.
Let Iboro respond.
I would not want to. I respect Mr. Rufai and I respect the freedom of Mr. Rufai having this discussion.
Okay.
I wouldn't be discussing with an expelled candidate.
Okay.
Who's only trying to.
Okay. And thank you so much for that, Femi. Iboro, you too. Thank you. For coming, and for both of the guys, I had to call you to order when you were saying harsh words. My apologies for that, but we should have kept it a whole lot civil.
But I would not want to spend so much time discussing that.
One thing we're going to take from this.
To be fair, I need a minute to respond.
Okay. Femi, hold on. Mr. Iboro will have to. You will respond. You will respond. But please, let's both agree this: that when Femi sends me the the screenshots like he promised, I'm going to put it out on my Instagram page and make it public for the accountability of those in public. Are you okay with that, Mr.
Go ahead
Iboro?
and do that. But let me respond before you finish,
Yeah.
please. Mr. Rufai, in every state in Nigeria, there is a governors forum of different parties just to strengthen democracy. Now, imagine that this man is saying on radio that we were expelled because we had a governors forum of the same party. What will need to be in the forum? Is it not to strengthen the party? What is the discussion of the forum?
Okay.
And secondly, remember, this is not the first time I ran for governor. I ran in 2019 against this same government they are saying I am talking to. 17 political parties stepped down to support my candidacy. 2 weeks to the election, my whole campaign structure stepped down for PDP. I ran the election to the end and even went to the International Criminal Court on the matter with Natasha Apoti. It is in public domain. When you Google, you see all we've done. Myself and Natasha Apoti led to that criminalization of act of electoral, to all these illegal acts by people in power in politics. We made that pass because we met with the British government, the American government, and all other governments. Now they are saying that in my second run, that is even better position, that I am negotiating with the same government that brought money to my house in the first government and I refused to take. That is what I'm doing now, that I'm now well positioned. See, and these are things that are important to me. It is cheap blackmail. And it is unfortunate that it is young people like them that are participating.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Iboro. Thank you so much, Mr. Iboro. Femi is going to send proof. All right. And once you send the proof, for all of you following me here, go to my Instagram page now, Rufai Oseni, because once Femi sends the proof, I'm going to put it there. Mr. Iboro, you can go there. I can continue the conversation on my Instagram page. I'm going to post the proof on all my pages. I'm going to post on my Twitter page. I'm going to post on my Instagram, my Rufai the Fire on Twitter, on Instagram, Rufai Oseni, and on Facebook, Rufai Oseni. So I'm going to post it out there so public can interact even further. I've been able to give every side a chance to be able to state their views as regards this. Thank you, both of you. I had to calm both of you down and shout at both of you. Ekpele, you know all of you are my people. It's one Nigeria. Femi,
thank you, sir.
Let Iboro have the last say. So Femi, we'll be expecting the proof from you. That's just it. All right. We'll be expecting the proof from you, so we can put it out there.
All right. So, but we not just want to waste our time on someone who has been expelled who's trying to.
No, it's fine. I mean, all sides of you, Femi.
That's settled.
Femi, all sides of you.
We understand what you're trying to do. And,
no, it's fine. It's settled. All sides of you. We're giving everybody the chance.
Yeah, way ahead.
Thank you so much for your time, and thank you so much for responding.
All right.
I really appreciate you, Femi. Bless you. And I appreciate you, Iboro, too. Bless you all. Bless you.